So don't think you can. So the Barbarian now. This is, once again, your tank, right? Huge strength, 30 strength, good vitality, 20 dex, 10 energy, 55 life, 92 stamina to start. Iron Maiden charges are on Metal Grid. Okay, I guess that's the only place that has it then. Mind Blast and Iron Maiden charges. Wouldn't it overwrite? I don't know if you can have both of those. Can you? I've never mixed it like that. I've honestly never mixed. I guess you can have both of them, now that I think about it. So, I mean, it's probably okay. The problem is, when you get to Hell, Iron Maiden's just not near as strong. It's just not near as strong. Yeah, so the Barbarian. So, great hit points, great stamina there, crappy mana. Stat per effect, 411. Look at that in the bottom left. Wow, 4 life for every vitality point. It is really difficult, in my mind, to take points away from vitality from a character who gets 4 life from vitality points. That's so tough. That's so tough in my books. I'll get to the Necro. Additionally, each character level he goes 2-1-1, so he's gaining even more life there. But yeah, every life you can get 20, or every level you can get 22 life added, and then of course you can boost that up throughout. Strong character. Faster hit recovery starts at 9 there. Faster cast rate, actually pretty good. Starts at 13 frames, and then you can work your way down, right? That's the same as the Sorceress has there. And then faster block rate, not as good as the others, but it's okay, right? So that life is super, super strong. Yeah, I'm going alphabetical on him. That life is super, super strong. Look at that. 58, 62, 66, 70. Oh my gosh. Oh, so good. So let's look at the Barb. Quick look at the Barb from a backed up standpoint. He's not great without gear. If you want to play him through the game, he's going to be slow because he's melee. And so you're going to be running out. And I'm level 99, so that's going to help me. But your chance to hit is going to be garbage. And you're going to hit one at a time. And it's going to be slow. That's just how it's going to go, right? Slowest character in the game by far. One of my favorite ways to run him is with the Warcry build, where you just bump up your Warcry. You can bump up all this fun stuff, right? Howl, Taunt, Battle Cry. Bump up all these, max, whatever. And then you go out and you yell things to death. This is honestly the fastest Barbarian without gear. Without good gear. So let me find a group of stuff. You just yell. You kill everything. It's so silly. It's so silly. But that is that's the first Barb that I'll talk about. Warcry. It does damage, and it has a great stun. Look at that, 4.8 seconds. So it's got crowd control, and it's got not great damage, but it's okay. I'll get rid of that. Barbarian, you are always going to have this. Okay? You're always going to be running battle orders. Because you can see I have 54 life now. Now I have 103 life. Right? Always, always, always. You'll always have 1 point in battle command. And 1 point in shout, and maybe more if you're going to be really a support person. But you'll shout up your battle command, which will boost all of your other skills by 1. And then you'll shout your battle command again so you can get the increased duration. And then you'll shout your battle orders. And then you can shout your shout. And increase your defense. So super, super, super. This is the team party hero, right? We talked about this before. This is the team party hero. Always going to have this. What are other amazing skills on him? Find item. Okay. This right here, a lot of people write this off. They think, oh, that's just a dumb skill, whatever. If you want to be a magic find hero, let me get some damage real fast to kill. Right. You're going to sit there, pop open all the bodies, and it's like another chance at magic finding. A lot of people don't realize you can find a main song with this. Yeah. It is a second chance to find an item from a slain monster. Very, very, very good skill. A lot of people don't realize it. Am I dumping a ton of points into it? No, you can see it really dies out. But, you know, I put 1 point in it and have plus skills, and I'm totally fine. Great for things like the council. Totally agreed. Grim Ward. This might be the most useless skill in the game. I don't think you're ever getting Grim Ward. What's the best thing I found? Ubio, what's the best thing you found using it? What's the best thing you have found using? And it sets up a stupid ward that frightens. So dumb. Oh my god. It's such a stupid skill. Whoa, now they're scared. There you go. Ubio found griffins with it. Whoa, they're so scared. Oh. Okay. Yeah, pretty worthless. You're probably not using this skill. So, and also you're probably not using much over here. Except taunt is actually pretty good because you're getting that minus attack and minus damage, right? Battle cry also really good. So honestly, you can spend a lot over here, or you can spend 1 point and just have 1 point wonders on a lot of this stuff. Okay. So if I'm battle crying, which I'll do a lot of times, that's gonna lower the defense and damage of that monster, right? Or like I say, I can taunt things, and taunting I can use for pulling monsters out. So now, let me get there's taunt. If I want to get a monster to come chase me, let's say they're an archer, and I don't want them shooting at me. Where's my taunt at? There it is. I can taunt it and force it to walk over towards me. Right? Great for dragging waves out. Great for all sorts of things like that. Taunt is an amazing skill. Let's get out of there. Super useful against ranged attackers. So there's a lot of use in the Warcry tree. Like I say, battle orders for you're going to be getting this because maxing out life, mana, stamina, all that, super good. Taunt, you're not maxing it. It's a 1 point wonder though, that will get that drag. Howl, people like to use Howl, but you're going to have to be a high enough level to make sure you can use it to scare the monsters away. Another good crowd control. Warcry is a good crowd control for just that stun. Max taunt on a frenzy barb, so you can drop their damage and attack by a lot. I guess if you want, yeah. I'm putting not a ton into this one, personally, but I guess it just depends how much you want to drop their damage and stuff like that. Like I say, I like using Battle Cry. Oh, taunt synergy for frenzy. That's why. Okay, for the 8% magic damage or damage per level. That makes more sense. I was like, I don't know why you're maxing it, but that's why you're maxing it. Otherwise, get one. Say howl. How am I saying it funny? So a lot of good use over here. A lot of good use. Fine potion, also pretty worthless, right? Over here, iron skin gets your defense up. It's not bad. Defense isn't the most important skill, but it's good. Natural resistances, right? This is great. This is going to help you get your res up. Personally, if I'm struggling with resistances, I'll put like 4 or 5 points over here, right? getting a nice 40 res until I can get stuff to help out is super solid. Increased stamina, worthless. Increased walk speed, that's great. That's another one you just have that 1 point in. Let your plus skills really boost up. You kind of do that with natural resistance as well. Okay, because you want to be able to get that increased run walk speed. It's actually super helpful. This calculates different from faster run walk that your items give you, and that something like vigor gives you, and all of that stuff. If you're using harmony bow or whatever. So the way that run walk calculation works is it basically adds your skills, and that has its own diminishing returns. Your items, and that has its own diminishing returns. Right? There's like multiple places. So increased speed is a solid one, though can be detrimental on whirlwind. Fair. Is Iron Skin worth it? I mean, I don't like really buffing it up a ton. If you're going for that max defense, you could if you had extra points, but personally, I'm putting those points elsewhere. Masteries are great. Know what weapons you're going to use, and this is always really difficult. And this is why respecs are invented as well, right? And why, excuse me, the Barbarian prior to respecs was so like, because you'd sit there, and if you didn't have a respec and you built your character to use axes, you always had to use axes, right? Forever. Otherwise, you'd have wasted points there. So polearm, throwing, spear, mace, axe, sword. Like I say, whichever one you're going to use, you want that maxed out. It's very nice, right? Good damage increase, chances of crit strike, things like that. So let's get to the main stuff now. I'm a barbarian. What am I running? There's a few things. First one people like to run is they like to run the whirlwind barb, right? Now you have to note that early on the damage is actually negative percentages. So you're actually going to have a worse damage there early on, until you can get enough skill points into whirlwind here. It also doesn't have synergies, but the whirlwind is a really fun skill, right? You can sit there and you get to spin through and do a bunch of attacks, and if you move slower, I guess you're doing more attacks. If you have increased attack speed, you're moving too quickly, according to Ubio there. So you're getting more attacks per hit, but just a fun skill. Note that you can't use potions during the time you're whirlwinding. Also, if you do long whirlwinds, you get stuck in that long whirlwind. So a lot of people do short whirlwinds, because this gives you more flexibility, a little more freedom, right? As opposed to doing really long ones. Okay, so people like doing that. Second thing people like really doing is well, some people like doing a double throw barb. Okay, but frenzy. I'd say frenzy is one of the other most popular builds right there. Spin in a triangle. Sorry. Right, a lot of people like running frenzy. And I don't have a second weapon on. So let me go get that real fast. Sure. Double swing is great. Double swing is amazing for early, and actually it's also really good for when you have some frenzy charges going. Because frenzy's kind of slow. And then double swing, you're like, whack, 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 right? But with frenzy charges, you get that short burst of attack speed and run walk speed whenever you have that frenzy going on around you. And that's going to increase your speed on everything. So then if I want a double swing, I can really start going. Whirlwind's great. Well, there is no Iron Maiden in Chaos Sanctuary anymore. Because they are murderers. But yeah, so Frenzy's really strong, and it's going to increase every time you get a successful hit. You're boosting your fast run walk, boosting your attack speed. Yeah, both those. And so you're moving really fast. So a lot of people like that Frenzy, and then you're, of course, maxing double swing with that. And like I say, you can swap into it if you want even faster hits once you get going with your Frenzy. Then you swap into double swing. It's like, right, goes crazy on it. So that's really nice. And then you're maxing taunt, and you can get berserk for if you want to add magic damage in there as well. I don't know if I always do that. Concentrate is a great skill for increasing that attack rating. So I've made a concentrate barb before that just has like a big maul and just goes in with concentrate and just whacks away. Berserk, you're going to drop your defense down to like nothing, but you're going to increase your damage and attack rating. So I've also made a berserk barb before. Very strong hero, right? So I like having it. Magic damage is not added, it replaces physical damage. Gotcha. So I like actually running berserk. Personally, I think it's kind of a fun, silly build, but you are going to be dropping it down. So concentrate is usually what I end up running. Berserk's good for handling Fizz immune. Yeah, I like running concentrate against like a boss or something like that. So what's best boss killer for Barbarian? Probably some sort of frenzy double swing with how's the best synergy for Berserk? 10% damage per level. Yeah, that's nice. Probably some sort of frenzy or double swing, because you're getting so many hits in. If you have good crushing blow and stuff, then that's just going to do a ton of damage. So yeah, and then leap attack is one of those also if you don't have teleport. Great skill to get you out of danger, to get you over ledges. Yeah, that's a good point. You just howl them and then scare them away. Woo! So yeah, you can just howl, scare things away, and then run up and berserk something. And then that is a decent synergy. So, a lot of good stuff on a Barbarian. The problem, of course, is once again, your melee, and whenever you're doing melee with physical damage, that's going to be a big piece of what your character has to have and do. And melee is just worse off in this game, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if you have to be melee, it's just going to be worse. But, you know, that is what it is. So 1 point for leap attack, great to leap around. Concentrate if you want to be conch barb. Whirlwind if you want to be a whirlwind barb. Frenzy if you want to be a frenzy barb, right? And then you get that double swing. And double swing is probably the best early skill. Bash is, you know, not great. Stun, whatever. Double throw, some people like it, but whatever. Barb's melee, but he's the best melee, yeah. But double swing is a very solid early game skill. And then, like I said, pick your mastery of what you're going to get. Get a point in increased speed, get a point in natural res, get a point there. Make sure you've got battle orders, get some shout, 1 point in battle command, and then get whatever crowd control pieces you want with that stuff. Now, I was getting there. On to leap. So leap is probably the most broken skill in the game. I want to say it's the most broken skill in the game, and they didn't realize how broken it is. So I'm going to show you how broken it is. Okay, let's take this group of monsters here. If I leap, I knock them back. If I keep leaping, and this is the edge of my screen, mind you guys. If I keep leaping, nothing can enter my screen or ever touch me. As long as I leap under myself, nothing can enter my screen or touch me because it's so broken. Barb OP. So, if you want to talk about most OP character, and especially for a party to have, it's a Barbarian with max leap. Because if you're in the Chaos Sanctuary and your party's having difficulties, whatever, as long as you have a Barb who you can just gather around and stand on top of who is leaping, and make sure it's tiny leaps, remember. Tiny leaps like that, they're not even on my screen. right? This has a radius of 16.6 yards. 16.6 yards. Let me get something real fast for you guys. Savage image. Add image. Let me see. One more. Boom. This is the yardage for the game. Right? 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Which means I am literally stunning the entire screen. When I leap, I get to literally stun my entire screen. And it does a knockback, and they can't react during that knockback, and I can leap and land before they can gather themselves again. Yeah, so broken. Just a broken skill. If you have a party that's having difficulties, tell them to come on you, and you'll just go up and down, and they'll just be right like under you. And then nobody can touch them. Yeah, it works on uniques as well. So, great there. So, really a good party character, like I say. And then if you get battle orders as well, you're boosting up your teammates as well with shout, battle orders, battle command. You're giving a skill level to all of them. You know, very strong. One of the strongest characters, one of the hardest characters to die on. But takes a while to really do some good damage. You know, takes a while to really do some damage. So that is the Barbarian, kind of a look. If you're looking for items, and I'll do itemization for characters more later, but just kind of some basic stuff, right? How do I like to start this character out? I love to get this. Do I have another flail? Where's the other one? Is that it? Malice. These are my two favorite starter flails when I'm level 15 and 17. The reason is because this means I don't have to actually hit them a lot, right? The chance of hit, we already went over kind of chance to hit, what that kind of looks like. Chance to hit isn't great. So if I can have things that do damage over time, that's going to be better for this character early on. So Tau 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 is a lot of poison damage over time, which means I only have to hit once every 5 seconds to reapply. Malice has a chance of open wounds, which is going to give a damage over time. That's what open wounds does. That's a 100% chance. So, and it also has minus to monster defense per hit. So when I'm hitting with both of these things, it's allowing me to hit more often, and it's also giving me that chance to hit. You know, I don't have to have such a great chance to hit, and I can still do a lot of damage. So these are good early. As I move up and become a melee character later on, I'm going to start looking at bringing in things that have crushing blow, like a black rune word or whatever. We've got a passion here if I want to be a zeal for whatever reason. Trying to see what other weapons I have over here. There's a lot of things in here that aren't great. That's 300 poison damage over 8 seconds. Isn't terrible. But there's a lot of weapons that I just would never use in here. That's not bad. I also like cold damage. Like this has. I like cold damage a lot because cold damage is going to be, and they also increase attack speed. Cold damage slows them down, which is going to be really, really solid for my character. Where's that Rixot's Keen? Do I have one in here? Maybe. No. Oh yeah, there it is. So Rixot's Keen is great for early game as well if you can get it. Gets that crushing blow. Fantastic for bosses. Other monsters, whatever. Bosses, yeah, I like it. And I also like the bloodletters if you want to be a whirlwind barb. I think bloodletters are kind of fun, just for early on at least. So that is kind of a look at the Barbarian and some basics of him, some skills, some builds, where you're kind of putting stuff. If you want attack rating, dexterity is not the best source for that, right? You can see me dumping all my points to try and get that. It's okay. Better off getting like better off getting the like set. I can't think of the set's name. Angelic set, whatever it is. Check out what clip. We have a party that's having difficulty. No, we can't be clipping right now. I mean, you guys can clip, but yeah, plus flat AR items are really good. Yeah, Angelics is great. So things that give 2 base attack rating are really good, and then you'll get some sort of attack rating multipliers, and that's going to help you up, help you hit things a ton. So if you're finding that you're struggling to hit things, my best advice: 1 Raven Frost for cannot be frozen and attack rating, 1 Angelic Ring, 1 Angelic Amy. That is your jewel set, and that will do enough for you. Yeah, and like Ubio says, a lot of your skills give that attack rating percentage boost, right? To attack, 150%, 170%, 191%, whatever, right? So when I have Frenzy going, my Frenzy attack rating is 271 over 85. If I'm now at 1,000 attack rating, now I have 2,700 attack rating just from that. Plus, if I have 1 point in the combat, whatever weapons I'm using, that's going to boost that up as well. So it just, all of that stuff will work. So really just get a few things that can add some base attack rating and you're pretty solid. And that is the Barbarian. That's the Barbarian. Moving on to the Druid.